Real deal truth. Your bone density is not going to improve by wearing a weighted vest around the house or taking walks with it. Has other benefits, but let's talk about what we do know about the weighted vest and what is beneficial to bone health. Hey, my name is Ann Koski. I am a strength and nutrition coach, and I focus on working with women in perimenopause and beyond. And we're going to break it all down today so you know what to do with that vest you already own or whether or not you should get one for your future. I'm going to fidget with this. Okay. My goal is to keep the film running the whole time, and I'm not going to do any editing. So what you see is what you get. This is me sitting on my floor in my little sanctuary with my baby boy, and it's happening. So from the top, the studies that a lot of the fitness and medical influencers are quoting are looking at not weighted vest walking, but jumping. So that was shown to have some bone density improvements. The studies that looked at walking in particular in any group of women, premenopause or postmenopausal, had minimal benefits at all when they looked at wearing weighted vests while following a rigorous weight loss program. There was a attenuation of bone loss, meaning they lost a little less than the control group, but they still lost bone mass. So what are we left with? We're left with this tool that we can use and get benefits from in a cardiovascular protective method. Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer in women over 40. So wearing that vest on a walk, good. It's motivating after the fact to get out there and do that and have a purpose. It's also kind of empowering to be wearing this weight thing on you, right? It feels good. It's like I'm walking around with my gear. It feels good. Ride that. Like, get out there and wear it for your cardiovascular benefits. Now, what can we do for our bone health? Great question. Other than nutrition, so eating whole foods, preferably that have calcium and vitamin D in them, eating to satiate protein needs, which typically start at around 0.7 grams per pound of body weight. And also getting sunlight on our bodies, another source of vitamin D. That's code for get outside and move, and with the side effect of getting sunlight. And then resistance training. So the resistance training should have an element of strength and hypertrophy. That means that you're lifting heavy as fuck weight as a few times as 2 to 5 with 1 or 2 reps in the tank, and also doing some hypertrophy, which means lifting still pretty heavy weights for 8 to 12 reps with the same effect. You could maybe do 1 or 2 more reps if you had to at the end of your set. And doing that for 2 to 3 times per week would be beautiful. Last one, minimize your exposure to alcohol and cigarettes. Those are all going to be helpful for bone density. And then the element that I want to come back to is how to build bone density beyond what strength training and walking can do for you. And a great way to build beyond is some plyometric training or some jumping. I would argue that you don't need a weighted vest to do that. I think the skill of landing and managing ground contact force, and being able to take off, or rate of force development, is what is going to enable you to get more from the training for your bone health, but also just feel like a more agile, athletic individual, even if you're not a sporty girl, okay? So take that approach with your jumping, and don't need a vest. Like, we don't need to make it harder. I think in the study that used vests, they were really like dropping off of a 10 centimeters, so that's like what, 5-inch, 6-inch elevation to the floor. Maybe just for like adding a little more force. I would say that's not a safe method. You want to land quietly, and that means in control. If you're landing loud and slappy, you are increasing your risk for joint, ligament, tendon injuries. Okay, so if you want to figure out kind of how to do and where to start with jumping training, because it can create injuries, especially in perimenopausal bodies that love to get pretty angry pretty quickly about things, check out another video I have. I'll link it in the notes below, and it'll give you a tutorial for 2 exercises to begin with, and kind of how much dosage to give yourself. I recommend over the long term that you're progressing that, because that's one thing the weighted vest walks are missing. There's no way to add more weight. At some point, up to 15% of your body weight is all that is recommended to handle just because of your joint stress. So with this jumping, you can compound intensity by jumping higher, jumping further, getting more jumping reps, making more complex jumping and directional moves. Anyway, if you have somebody you can access that can give you those basics, preferably a coach that has experience and knowledge in training people for plyometric programming, not just any old coach. Unfortunately, it's the Wild West out there. So make sure that you feel like your needs are being met by this person. And then you'll have this nice way to ramp up and continue making progress over time and have fun, because it can be fun to jump. And it feels better when you have more skill and more proficiency at it, right? Nobody likes to do things they're not good at. So check out that video, link below, and leave any questions you have underneath. I'm curious to hear what I missed doing this video in this way. All right. Thank you. Bye.